What's up, guys? I'm BTC. We just got an update on what we can expect with Overwatch and Overwatch 2 over the next couple months, and this comes in the form of a fairly lengthy interview from the new game director, Aaron Keller. There are definitely some things in here that are good and something to look forward to, and there's also some stuff that is not so good and has potential to actually be really bad. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the bad stuff. We're just going to get that out of the way, and then we'll move on to the good stuff and hopefully end on a high note, end with, kind of a good look on what could possibly be happening in the next couple months. As mentioned, this is a fairly lengthy interview. Obviously, Aaron is not going to be able to talk about new characters, new maps, that sort of thing in any specific way. They want to have trailers and teasers and stuff whenever they announce that sort of thing. But here's one of the questions. This is the second question, and just listen to this and tell me if you can figure out what the problem is. So here's the question. How long has Jeff's departure been something that your team knew about? How has that been factored into your development, and what has the impact of that been? A lot of people would ascribe the entire vision of Overwatch to Jeff, but obviously that's not the case. But what has the impact of him leaving been? And this is Aaron's answer. Yeah, it's really interesting because Jeff will do regular development updates for the project, and he would always start with them with, "Hi, this is Jeff from the Overwatch team." And as much as he possibly could, he was trying to put focus of the game on the team and not on himself. Maybe it's the reality of the way communities form, that a lot of times there's someone out in front that you know is the spokesperson or becomes like the poster person for a particular game or property. But at the same time, the game is built by the team. Jeff and myself, there are a few ways to look at the position, but one of them is that we do the least amount of things for this game. We're not opening up the editor and building characters or animating them or building maps for this game. That's everybody on this team. And so I get that from the outside, this can look alarming and this can look like the entire team just left or the vision holder for the game just left, but that's not the case. The team is the one that's carrying the torch forward, and they always have been. The Overwatch team was started in 2013. Our senior leadership group are all original members of that team. We have so many people that started this project that are still there, and then we have brought so many other people on that are now these incredibly impactful creative members of the team. All of us together are the ones that are bringing this forward, and I'm happy that I'm able to play whatever role in it that I can. Did you notice something about Aaron's response? What he said, or more specifically, what he didn't say? He never actually answered the question. He just gave a meandering general response about the team. The question was, how long has Jeff's departure been something that you as the team knew about? And he just doesn't answer it, which kind of leads me to believe that it was very sudden, and it probably happened over the course of a couple days or maybe even a week, something that I mentioned in my previous video. And also, it likely wasn't an amicable split. Jeff just kind of left, or maybe Blizzard Activision forced him out or something because of whatever disagreement. And obviously Aaron can't talk. He's not allowed to talk about that. So instead of answering the question, he just gives this kind of meandering answer. He also doesn't really address what kind of an impact Jeff leaving. Again, he just says, it's a team effort. Like, yeah, we know it's a team effort. We know that Jeff is not the one that's doing the coding and the art and that sort of stuff. We know that. That's obvious. But him leaving is going to have some sort of an impact, and Aaron just never even addresses it. He just says, yeah, we've had people that are around for a while, and we got some new people, and we're just going to keep doing what we're doing. So you're saying that Jeff leaving has absolutely no impact on the team whatsoever? That doesn't sound very believable to me. The other question that falls onto the bad side of things is about a change in direction for how the game is now going to be handled from here forward. So this is the question. It's kind of a long one. It says, do you expect there to be a change in ethos when it comes to design, development, or deployment? From an outsider's perspective, Blizzard has a way that seemed to have this group of people who work intensely on something and then release it when it's perfect. But modern games in the same stable, your contemporaries, have a lot of people working on a project. They rapidly iterate and they push stuff out super quickly and maintain constant engagement. Do you foresee Overwatch and Overwatch 2 sticking with the slow and steady pace, or are you thinking that we need the same way that Fortnite is, a new piece of major content every other day? Aaron's answer is, one of the values that Blizzard has is commit to quality, and we're always looking to make the very best version of anything we make. But I think that there can be a tendency to cling to that and maybe hold onto pieces of content or systems that we made longer than we should. So for Overwatch 2, I think this is a game that players really want to play, and it's a game that I would like to get to our community as soon as possible. So we're going to make a great game, and we're really committed to making it as amazing as we possibly can. And the last thing we want to do is to release it early before it's ready. But we recognize that it's something that players are waiting for, and it's something that's important to put out there. So we're doing as much as we possibly can to accelerate the development process for it. Going forward, I think that, especially for Overwatch 2, players ought to be able to look back at what we've created for Overwatch 1. We have created almost as many maps for the live game as we did for the game when it launched, almost as many heroes for the live game as when it launched. We have put a lot into this game. We have brand new ways to play, brand new types of maps and game modes, and we run our seasonal events every year. I think that this is something, when I start looking forward, just personally, what I think we ought to be doing in the future is that and more that we need to put out. It's really important for the game and the community for us to be releasing as much as we possibly can for the game. That was the entirety of his response. Let me quickly play something for you that I mentioned in my other video. What I know about Blizzard and Activision, and what's going to happen is they're going to demand more and more and more and more. So what we're going to end up with is much bigger dev teams for the game, and it's going to be churning out lots of content. There's going to be lots of new content, new maps, new campaigns, new heroes, all that sort of stuff. But it's going to be lower quality. It's going to be something that's just kind of churned out as fast as possible in order to get people into buying those battle passes. Normally it feels good to be proven right, but this does not feel good at all. Like, this is, and even in that video, I mentioned that I would be happy to be proven wrong, but it seems like that isn't the case. Looking at this interview, looking at what Aaron's saying, they are absolutely going to be changing the way that the game is handled, that they're going to be pushing out more content as fast as possible. And I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, hey, more content, that's great. And I would agree to a certain extent. Yes, we definitely need more content. There has been very little of that in the last year, right? Like, it's been over a year since the last new character has been added to the game. So I agree, but I think it also needs to be good content. I don't think anyone wants to just have a whole bunch of stuff shoved out the door for the purposes of microtransactions. I don't think anyone wants to see that. So, more content, yes, but it needs to be good. It needs to be quality. It doesn't need to be something, you know, the kind of joke Blizzard soon thing, right? Where it takes like 5 years before something comes out. But the fact of the matter is, you should be able to make good quality content on a regular basis. Doesn't need to be a new hero every single month. But really, there should be at least one new character or one new map or something every 45 to 60 days. I really do not think that that is an unreasonable thing to ask. Alright, so enough of the doom and gloom. Let's talk about some of the good things that we can expect. The first is that they are going to continue doing developer updates. It may not be in the same exact way that they did with Jeff Kaplan, where he would just sit in front of a camera for several minutes talking about this or that. Aaron has said that he doesn't really do all that well in that kind of a situation, so we might end up getting developer updates in a different format, but I don't think that really matters, right? As long as we're getting the updates, as long as we're getting the information, how it's delivered, for the most part, doesn't really matter. Aaron also delivered some really good news. He says, there are really big features and systems coming soon, as big as anything we've built for this game, and the amount of resources that we've poured into these has been massive across almost every aspect of our team to do it. Those will be coming out soon. I don't have a date that I can announce right now. Hopefully, it's something that we'll be able to start talking about sometime in the near future, but I am very excited for them, and I can't wait to see people's reactions. Another question that goes in line with what was just said is asking about if this is in reference to the announcement that was made during the blog post where Jeff was leaving and then Aaron was coming in. and it says, you know, that was a new feature that was going to be introduced very soon, and Aaron says yes. So I expect that probably within the next maybe 2 months or so, there should be something really big that does get added to the game. Now, I have a feeling that this is probably part of Overwatch 2. It was probably something that was originally intended for Overwatch 2, but Blizzard Activision wants all of this stuff to get pushed out earlier, and maybe this was what Jeff disagreed with. Maybe he didn't want this change in plan. Maybe he didn't think it was ready, or something to that effect. I don't know. You know, again, that's just a little bit of a speculation on my part, but it does seem that they're pushing out something really huge in the next couple months, and this could very well have been the thing that caused the disagreement. Regardless, there is going to be some really big content. Aaron says that this is just as big as anything else that they've ever added to the game, and that sounds pretty significant. So, couple of good things, right? We're getting more dev updates. We're going to be getting some really big mystery thing, a new system or something that's going to be added to the game. More dev updates, all that. What do you guys think about this? Again, if you want to check out the entire interview, it's pretty lengthy. I'll put a link down below. What do you guys think about all this stuff? Let me know down below. A big thanks to all the Paragons and other channel members for all your support. If you'd like to become one and grab some cool rewards, click the join button down below. Also, if you enjoyed the video, drop a like before you leave. And remember, always blame the controller, because it's never your fault.